Hi, everybody. It's Deborah from peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video today. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to cat-proof your Christmas tree. If you have a cat, especially if they're a young cat or a kitten, there are things that you should do to not only keep your tree safe and your ornaments from getting broken, but also to keep your cat safe. There are some dangers around Christmas trees for cats. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to choose a cat-safe tree. We're going to talk about the dangers of drinking the tree water for your cat. And we're also going to go over 10 ways to cat-proof your Christmas tree. So I hope you find today's video to be helpful. If you do, please go ahead and give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you on board as a subscriber. I do videos all about the care, health, and training of dogs and cats. If you've not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own peoplelovinganimals.com. So welcome to my website if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. So we're going to talk about how to cat-proof your Christmas tree. First of all, you need to choose a cat-safe Christmas tree. You might consider getting an artificial tree because it's just easier. It's just better. The tree doesn't need water. If the cat knocks it over, you're not going to have pine needles everywhere. An artificial tree is not, toxic for your cat. So you might want to just consider an artificial tree. And also, cats are less likely to chew on an artificial tree. And I would think just by nature, they're not going to be as attracted to an artificial tree as they would a real tree. Also, the oils from the needles in your cat tree, in your a regular pine tree, they can cause stomach upset, vomiting, decreased appetite. They can irritate your cat's gastrointestinal tract. I had a small Christmas tree for years that I used to decorate for Christmas. This is a bad picture, but you can see it's a little pine tree. I bought the thing at Walmart when it was, I don't even think it was more than 6 or 7 inches tall in a little pot. I had it for years, and then for a while I would decorate it for Christmas. It looks really stupid in the picture, but it looks really cute. Well, then when I got my current cat Whiskers, he would jump on the tree, not even when it was a Christmas tree, just when it was a pine tree in my house. He would jump on it, he would chew on the branches, and that's when I actually found out that the pine tree could be toxic for the cat. So for the sake of everybody involved, I got rid of the tree, which really broke my heart because it was a cute tree and I had it for a long time. But I used to decorate that little tree for Christmas until I found out that it could be toxic for Whiskers, and so I got rid of it. But I do miss that little tree. Is Christmas tree water safe for cats? No, it's not. According to catster.com, any pine sap that has leaked into the water can cause gastrointestinal distress for your cat. Also, the longer the water sits, the more it can breed bacteria, and that's not good for your pet to ingest, and that would be true of any tree or any house plant. If you've got these bowls of water sitting around, or a plant that sits in water, just keep in mind that the longer that water sits, it's going to be like all bacteria ridden, and you don't want your cat to come along and, sip on that. So if you do decide to get a real tree, cover the water to keep your cat from drinking it. One suggestion would be to use a cat-proof Christmas tree skirt. And I will give you a link to that in the description box. By the way, I always forget to mention in my videos, I'm using this post on my website to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this post in the description box in case you want to go back and read it or anything that you wanted to click on. But I also will give you the links in the description box for anything that we're talking about. So I will give you a link to get a cat-proof Christmas tree skirt. Just in general, Christmas tree safety for pets. This is not about cats, but I just want to give the example of, sometimes we're just involved in the holiday and we just don't realize like some of the dangers that there can be for pets. I talk about this in the post, but I'm not going to read it to you. I'm just going to tell the story. 100 years ago, I had a little miniature dachshund named Maggie. Loved her so much. I had her for 11 and a half years. She was absolutely beautiful. Well, I was married at the time, and one year, my husband and I, we had the Christmas tree, we decorated it, and Christmas Eve, we wrapped all the presents, and we had either 2 or 3 cats that year. I think we might have had 3 cats that year. And so I bought a can of Pounce. I'll give you a link for Pounce so you know what I'm talking about. They used to come in a can, and they're like soft cat treats. And so I got a can of Pounce, and I kind of split it up between the cats, and I used a little wrapping paper to wrap up some little treats for the cats. You know what I mean? Like just so they would have something open on Christmas. So I had the can of Pounce that way. Also, that year, I bought a box of candy canes, and I taped a candy cane to each gift. Oh, isn't this nice? Well, like an idiot, I realize now, we put everything under the tree. We went to bed. Well, oh, and by the way, I had also bought some chew bones for Maggie, the dog, and I bought some of those soft sticks, you know, those sticks that they chew on and eat. I bought an entire package of those. Well, you might be starting to guess what happened. We got up the next morning, and Maggie had eaten all of the Pounce. She opened all of those. She ate the whole can of Pounce. She ate almost every candy cane. She didn't eat all of them, but not only did she eat the candy cane, but she had eaten the plastic that the candy canes are wrapped in, okay? And she ate, it wasn't the whole package. I don't even think it was half, but she had already eaten several of the chewy dog sticks before we got up, and she had one in her mouth. Now, by the grace of God, this dog was okay. She didn't even vomit. She didn't show any signs of being sick. She could have had a hell of a stomach ache. I don't know. But it could have been very dangerous. I mean, look at everything that the dog ingested, you know, kind of overnight. And for her to eat, you know, all those candy canes, all that sugar, you know. So I just tell this story because it's like, you know, I think anytime we always kind of have to look around our house and say, you know, is there anything not okay for my pets? And then particularly at the holiday time, you know, look at the tree, look around. What presents do you have? What decorations do you have out? What foods are people going to be eating that they're not usually eating? Are you going to have guests in the house? Are they going to be feeding your pet stuff that your pet shouldn't eat? You know, there's so many things. There's so many things. So I just think, I just want to tell this story about Maggie because, you know, you get wrapped up in the holiday and sometimes we're just not thinking, right? And there are dangers for our pets that we don't realize, right? Now, let's get into 10 tips about how to effectively cat-proof your Christmas tree. Number 1 is choose the right spot. It's best to put the tree in a corner because that's a couple more angles that the cat can't get to the tree. And don't put it next to any furniture that the cat could use to get up on the tree. Like if you set it next to the couch, the cat can jump up on the couch and jump up into the tree. I know that your house may be small. You may not be able to accommodate this, but just keep it in mind. If you can have your tree away from furniture standing in a corner, that would be your best bet. Also, make sure that you secure the tree. There are cat-proof Christmas tree stands. I'm going to give you a link to that. I'm also going to give you a link to an article from Farmhouse 1820, and they have a lot of tips about actually securing your tree. So you might want to check that out as well. And again, you're securing the tree so that the cat doesn't knock the tree over, right? Number 3, don't use a tabletop Christmas tree. It's just too easy, you know, for the cat to just tip over, especially if it's one of those expensive ceramic Christmas trees. By the way, they're going for a lot of money. I just heard this recently. The really old ones, those, you know, the ceramic glass Christmas tree that you plug in and it would light up. Apparently those are going for a lot of money now. So if you have one, don't throw it out. You might want to throw it on eBay or something. I'm just saying. Anyway, tabletop Christmas tree, it's just easy for your cat to knock over. But if it's a cat, you know, a tabletop Christmas tree and you don't really care about it, and, you know, you don't care if the cat knocks it over, that might be a way to kind of have a Christmas tree without worrying about it, right? Number 4, avoid breakable tree ornaments, at least while your cat is young or until you're certain that the cat is not going to mess with the tree. Until then, use fabric, wooden, or plastic ornaments. Don't use fragile ornaments, and don't use glass ones. Don't risk any of your favorite ornaments or ornaments that have sentimental value. I just don't think it's worth getting the cat in trouble, and it's not worth it for you to be upset. I always say, don't set your pet up for failure. Don't set them up. You've got these beautiful glass, ornaments from your great great grandmother hanging on the tree, and then the cat, because he's a cat, bats them around or jumps in the tree and breaks them, and now the cat's in trouble. Well, whose mistake was that? You know what I mean? So don't set your cat up for trouble. Don't do it. Maybe you could, if you have favorite ornaments, maybe you could set them inside a curio cabinet or something like that where you could still display them, but they're not dangling from the tree. I had a cat named Myron many years ago who loved to bat the tree ornaments, like the ones on the bottom of the tree they would dangle, and he would love to bat them. And so what I did was I just bought some inexpensive ball-shaped ornaments that I didn't really care about, and that's really all he did. He didn't like leap into the tree. He didn't try to climb the tree. He just liked to bat the ornaments on the bottom of the tree. So I just bought some cheap ones that I didn't care about. I hung those on the bottom of the tree, and then I put my good ornaments, higher up on the tree, and he would bat them around, and sometimes he would bat one off and he would chase it around the house. It's like, okay, you can play with these, and if it kept him happy, then that was good, because it's like he didn't jump in the tree. He wasn't trying to get up to get the ornaments. It made him happy, it made me happy, and it was okay. Just make sure that if you do that you get some ornaments that are safe from your cat, or for your cat, like cloth or fabric or something would be best. Number 5, don't use tinsel. This is kind of a funny story. You know what I mean by tinsel? It's the silver strands that you hang on your tree. I had a cat. I actually had her for 20 years. And right about the same time that I had the dog named Maggie that I just told you about, who ate all the candy canes, I had that cat. And I would put tinsel on the tree, and she would like to sit under the tree and eat the tinsel. And she would put the tinsel in her mouth and suck it in like spaghetti. And it was similar to that movie Lady and the Tramp. I actually pulled it up for you so I could show you in case you know what I'm talking about. Let me get my fat head out of the way. These guys, you remember this movie and they're like sucking up the spaghetti? Like, that's what it always reminded me of when she would do that. Now, I tried to keep her from doing it. Obviously, it's not a good idea for her to be eating the tinsel. I didn't want her to eat the tinsel. And a really gross fact is that I had a very festive litter box because she would swallow the tinsel and she would poop it out. Funny, but not funny, because it wasn't until years later that I realized that tinsel could have been dangerous. I knew it generally wasn't good for the cat to eat the tinsel, but I didn't realize it was actually dangerous. It could have gotten wrapped up in her intestinal tract. She could have had to have very expensive surgery. Cats have died just from swallowing string. I actually know a cat that died from swallowing string. So it was stupid of me. And so as much as I love the tinsel, I think it's beautiful. I won't use it again when I have pets, because it's just too dangerous, for them. Number 6, use the Christmas tree lights. Protect light cords, the electrical cords, with cord organizers, plastic covers. I'll give you the links for them on Amazon, to prevent your cat from chewing on those and getting an electric shock or just ruining your Christmas lights. And you should always unplug your Christmas tree lights when they're not in use or when you're not home. And that's wise regardless of whether you own pets. You should unplug stuff. Christmas lights and stuff if you're going to leave the house, right? It's just not safe to leave it on, unattended. They can get overheated, start on fire, these sorts of things. As pretty as the Christmas tree is in the window, when you pull up at home, you know what I mean? That's real nice, but would you really like to pull up to a house fire? I don't mean to be dramatic, but I'm just saying, is it worth it, right? Number 7 is try cat-safe repellents. You can spray your Christmas tree in the skirt with a cat deterrent spray. Just make sure it's made for cats so it is safe. Don't just start spraying bleach and stuff around. You know what I mean? Like, don't spray toxic stuff that your cat could ingest or inhale or even get on themselves and then they're licking it off. Okay, always make sure that whatever products you're using for anything in your home, make sure they're pet safe. There are certain scents that cats don't like, so these cat deterrent sprays can be pretty effective, and I'm going to give you a link to find those on Amazon. I do have one. It's made by Nature's Miracle, and it's a cat deterrent spray. I personally think it smells like cloves. Well, you know, cloves have a very strong odor, and it works because my cat Whiskers, when he was a little bit younger, he started like pulling up the carpet in the corner of my living room, and so I went and got that deterrent spray and I sprayed it on the carpet, and it worked. He didn't go near it anymore. So they can be pretty effective. Number 8, try aluminum foil or double-sided tape. Cats can get startled by the sound of tin foil, and obviously they're not going to like the feel of double-sided tape. So if you have like a tree skirt, put some tin foil around it, and you may not even have to have that for long, and you may not even have to ever have it again. If they go up to the Christmas tree and they're stepping on tin foil or they're stepping on double-sided tape, it's unpleasant for them, and they're going to choose not to do it again. And those are valuable for anything. Like, for example, I have a video about how to keep your cat off the kitchen counters, and that's one of the tips I give. Cover it with aluminum foil or double-sided tape. The cat jumps on the counter, steps on, aluminum foil. They're startled, and they don't like it. They think, okay, when I jump on the counter, this is what happens. They can't put it, they can't put it together. So it can be quite effective to use those things to keep your cat away from the tree. Also, number 9, keep your cat busy. I have a post in a video called How to Keep Indoor Cats Happy. And in that video, we talk about 10 things that cats love. Keep them busy, especially if you have a young cat. You don't want to have a young cat who has tons of energy and is exploring everything, and all of a sudden you put up a Christmas tree. I mean, really, how can you expect them to stay away from it? So give them their own toys, give them their own stuff to do, get some interactive toys. Just like they say about a dog, a tired dog is a good dog, a tired cat is a good cat. So, just get them some stuff to keep them happy, to keep them mentally and physically stimulated, to keep them tired. Don't just expect your cat to lay around and, oh, there's a Christmas tree in the corner and they're supposed to ignore it, right? Now, how to cat-proof Christmas tree ideas. I'm going to give you the links to a couple of posts, but first, in this picture is Penny. If you've been here for my cat videos before, you've probably seen my cat Whiskers. Penny is his sister. They were feral, and I adopted Whiskers. Friends of mine adopted Penny, and there was a third kitten adopted by another friend of ours. He's a black cat, and his name is Finn. The 3 of them were rescued as feral kittens, and that's Penny. And I think we got them in June, and so by December, that could have been her first year. Seems like she would have been about that big. She's beautiful. She really is. But they found her. There she sits in the Christmas tree. And she wasn't doing anything. And you can see they hadn't put any ornaments on. They were testing out, like, how is this going to be? But they snapped that picture. And I think she's just beautiful. But she was just kind of hanging out in the tree. Like, and it's funny because she's looking at it. She's looking at the camera like, what? Anyway, I'm going to give you links in the description box for 2 articles. One is catster.com, how to cat proof a Christmas tree, and I'm also going to give you a link to Jackson Galaxy's video called The Ugly Truth About Cats and Christmas. If you don't know about Jackson Galaxy, he is a cat expert. He used to have that show on Animal Planet called My Cat from Hell, where he would go into people's houses and help them with all kinds of like serious cat issues. And he has a YouTube channel that's absolutely fantastic. And so I'll give you a link to his video, The Ugly Truth About Cats and Christmas, where he talks about dangers and all this sort of thing around having a cat. So I think you'll find that particularly useful. A couple more things before we go. If you have not been here before, you don't know that I donate to animal charities. I receive a small commission for some of the affiliate links on my website. Like, for example, if you use the links I'm giving you for the things we mentioned on Amazon, and you go to Amazon and you make a purchase from my link, I will get a small commission. That's how I do peoplelovinganimals.com and this YouTube channel for a living. And I donate 10% of my profits to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, thanks so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful. If you have any more tips that would help people managing the cat tree at Christmas time, but really anything regarding managing a cat and especially their safety during the holiday season, I would love it if you would comment below for other people people to get those tips as well. So again, thanks so much for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.